Hey everyone, sorry about that. Just had some audio issues. Thanks for joining us. What is that? Hey everyone, sorry about that.
What is
Just had
what?
some audio issues. I have some audio music and some. Oh, how's that sound? Sorry guys, teething problems. Yeah, I'm getting. I keep on hearing myself, which is very weird. Oh dear. Hi, can you hear me now? Yeah? How about on the stream? People are saying they can't hear us. One second. Okay. Okay. How about now?
Hello?
Okay. How about now?
Hello? Yeah, they can hear me now.
Okay.
Right, so let's do this again. We are really professional on the first 2 minutes, of course, have been a write-off, but welcome to the F1 Manager. Right, so let's do this again. We are really professional on the first 2 minutes, of course, have been a write-off, but welcome to the F1 Manager. Right, so let's do this again. We are really professional on the first 2 minutes, of course, have been a write-off, but welcome to the F1 Manager. Right, so let's do this again. We are really professional on the first 2 minutes, of course, have been a write-off, but welcome to the F1 Manager.
You're gonna have to bear with me. I am getting loads of feedback in my ears. Everything is being repeated. You know what? I think I've actually done that. That's what it is. Yeah. I have the live stream open in other tabs. Hey, I think I've sorted it. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you spot the deliberate mistake?
Cool.
Yeah, thanks
Right.
for joining us, everyone.
We're on. We're actually on for real.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump into it because I've got a question.
Have we done
from
the introductions?
Sam Wilson. Yeah, I did, but maybe they heard it several times over in a big loop. So
Yeah.
we'll go
probably.
again. I'm Josie, and this is Ian. You
Hello.
should know Ian if you're on the Discord server. And we're going to answer some questions today from the chat. We're going to qualify for the Lunar event, and we're going to talk about the latest update that just came out, right?
Yes, we are. The update 1.12. Rollout for that started earlier in the week. I'd imagine most of you guys out there should have it now, which is great. And yeah, the big headline feature is asset trading. You asked for it, here it is. Hopefully some of you guys have had a go at that and hopefully got some good trades. But yeah, let me show off that new feature on the stream quickly.
Let's pop those graphics up.
Yeah, here you go. So this is what you'll see first of all, basically telling you time to trade your assets. You have to bear in mind that you will not see this unless you've got a maxed out asset with some surplus, because I know a few people have asked about that because they haven't seen the feature. But yeah, you need a maxed out asset with some surplus to actually have access to asset trading. So yeah, this is what you'll see first of all. Obviously you'll hit continue there, and then you'll be able to pick which asset, well, your maxed out asset that you've got and you want to trade. In this instance, it's Latifi, which yeah, is probably one of the first ones that you might max out. And then you get a choice of 3 options. On this occasion, the person who took these screens has got pretty lucky, I think, and got a Verstappen and an FX that they're able to trade. And you can see at the top there's different trading values based on the rarity of the various assets. So for example, Verstappen, if you trade in 300 Latifis, you'll get back 6 Verstappens because it's a higher value asset, whereas For lock-on, it's pretty much a like-for-like one-to-one ratio trade. And yeah, once you've picked which one you want, that's what you'll see at the end. And then you can click continue to make your trade. As you would expect, the person who took these screens picked Verstappen, which I think pretty much all of us would do in that situation too. So yeah, that's asset trading, and I hope you'll really enjoy it. A great way to use some of those stockpiled maxed assets that you've been hoarding away. Really glad to be able to finally give you guys a use for those.
Yeah. So are we going to play F1 Manager for like real and stuff?
I think we are. This
awesome.
is my game at the minute. I've got a spin.
Oh, do you spin?
I think so, yeah. This is not a fix in case I get a Series 6 Platinum, which can happen. So I just need to know this is purely in the hands of the F1 gods. Here we go.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, as you can see, it definitely hasn't been rigged because that is one of the poorer prizes I could have got. 6,000 coins.
Beautiful.
But yeah.
Nice. That's really good. So while Ian plays F1 Manager, I'm going to try and answer some questions. I won't be able to get to all of your questions. It's very possible that I'll drop a couple just because of time. There are a lot of people in the chat, but I'll try and read a few through a few of them. That was good English. The first question that I've already spotted comes from Sam Twilson, which asks how many people are working on the team that creates and maintains F1 Manager. So the number of people in the team is always very fluid. There's usually 15 to 20 people working full-time on the game. So that's the number there are at the moment. And then there are a few people, other people around Hutch who support us with some of their time to do things like all of the special artwork that goes up on the App Store and things like that. But there's, about 20 of us, just under 20 of us.
So yeah, just opening a few crates here at the minute, Josie, before I get involved with qualifying for the Lunar event. I think I've got one upgrade as a result.
Yeah, you need that. Yeah. You need that those sweet things.
Trust me, I really do.
I'm being told that I'm quite loud, so I'm going to move the mic further away from my head, and I'm going to not talk as loud.
Right, let's see if that upgrade does me any good. What was it? Base. No. Upgrading that doesn't really do much for my stats. Right, lock and load. Upgrade there. No, it's a rare, so I'm going to upgrade it, I reckon. What do you think?
Oh, yeah, do it.
Speculate to accumulate.
That's right. Question from Mattia Binotto. I hope that you're the real Mattia. To add Imola and Portimao. We would like to do that. Naturally, with those circuits being probably temporary, it may be that we won't be able to build them before they're off the calendar again. Obviously, we're trying to add all of the circuits that are official as and when we can. We're going to do our best, but we can't guarantee that those circuits will be built.
You know what, Josie? Before starting this off, I think I might have an asset trade in the bank. Should we see what I get from that?
If you've got one, then give it a go.
Yeah. Oh. Here we go. So yeah, you can find the asset trade, the asset trading system in the store. That should pop up for you if you're able to make a trade. So let's see what I get. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Latifi, quite a popular one for people to max out first. So let's trade 300 of these and see what we get. Okay, so got Phaser, Gorilla, and MSM. I'm thinking maybe I should go for the Gorilla here because I've got it up to level 5 already. Getting that up to 6 would be very helpful.
Yeah, do it.
What does the chat think I should do? Yeah, Flash says Gorilla. Any more for Gorilla, or do you reckon I should go for MSM?
I'll go for the Gorilla.
Yeah. Oh, it's 1-to-1 now.
Oh no.
Stock the block. Oh no, it's 2-to-1. Gorilla. James B090 says Gorilla. So tell you what, let's do that. And yeah, every time you make a trade with asset trading, it does cost you 1 million coins, and you can do asset trading once per day. That's worth bearing in mind. Okay, So let's complete the trade.
GP89 is asking if we have any further plans for the trading system. Obviously, it's the new edition, so in the meantime, we're happy that it's fresh and interesting. It doesn't mean that we won't innovate on it in the future, but we've got more features in the pipeline that we'd like to finish up first. So we're working hard.
Okay, right. Lunar New Year event just caught the final qualifying round in time, so let's get involved with that, shall we?
Do it.
Okay. See, I distinctly remember last time I was trying to maybe show off a little bit on the stream, and I think I did contender or challenger, and I failed pretty epically. Do you think I should swallow my pride a bit and go for junior here?
Let's do junior.
Yeah,
I think that we'll
nice
have
to bring
more
home
luck.
a win or two.
Yeah, give it a try.
Yeah.
Got a question from Totu Spurs. Will next season be more balanced with more drivers playable instead of just Kimi, Albon, and Lewis, and with specific setups? So, yeah, we have received some feedback about the way that the drivers balance work, and I know that has been in an extensive rebalancing phase for the next season. People are already asking when the next season will come out. We can't announce that yet. But you already do know that the 2021 season is coming, so spend your CC points if you have any left.
Yep, they're no good sitting in the bank.
Yep, because they'll disappear at some point to be replaced with the new CC points. When it comes to the driver and components balance, yes, they have undergone some changes, and hopefully that's going to mean that more drivers will be usable in 2021 than are currently.
Yeah. I just thought maybe I'd have a quick look at my setup before jumping into a race here, Josie.
Yeah.
Because I think I could do with all the help I can get from the chat, to be honest. So, right. Here is my current setup. I mean, I think I've picked all the right parts. Feel free to tell me in the chat where I'm going wrong. So yeah. Can't think of anything I can swap over that will give me any stat boosts. I mean, I've got the base there that can be leveled up, but still, it's not as good as what I've already got.
I think this is probably quite good.
Yeah. I mean,
I wouldn't pump any money into upgrades right now. Or you can upgrade the base to make it better.
Which one? Sorry?
I'm watching on a huge delay. So
the base. I mean, I can upgrade it, but tell you what, I've got a bit of money. I might as well maybe upgrade it for completion's sake. Okay, I think this is something. Let me get the feedback from the chat. Do you think I should swap this mantis for the swap over with the compressor? I'm losing a lot of aero though.
I'm going to answer a question from Michael Baxi Media. How about widening some of the tracks that are notoriously too narrow to realistically pass on, like Melbourne? So the dimensions of the track in F1 Manager are directly related to the dimensions in real life. So the tracks that are more narrow in the real world are also going to be more narrow in the game. That does mean that it's very challenging to overtake on some of the more narrow tracks. However, we are looking at making some changes to the overtaking behavior. I can't speak too much about it, but it's possible that will mean that even on a slightly narrower track, there's a greater chance of overtaking. We're still fine-tuning it.
Right, just asking for the chat's opinion on whether I should change my driver lineup. I have a level 5 Bottas and a level 3 Hamilton at the minute.
That's all right.
It is all right for where I am. I mean, Vettel looks pretty good, apart from fuel management and consistency.
Yeah, I think that your setup's already okay.
Yeah, all right. Tell you what, I've been messing around long enough. Let's get into it.
Yeah, we want to get this done. Let's do it.
Come on, where are you? Right, Shanghai, 30% chance of rain. Hopefully that keeps at bay.
Adriano asks why Holland track is so slow. So is that to do with cars around Zandvoort not traveling at full racing speed, or having traffic problems? I'd like to know. Let me know. Stock de Block asks when comes the update. So the asset trading update is already out. there will be a 2021 season update, but I can't comment on when that is yet. It won't be in the next few weeks. It will be a little bit later than that for sure. So we'll make sure to announce it in good time. Spend your CC points.
Well, I'm happy with that qualifying. 9 and 15th.
I'm still waiting for it to... Oh, that is good. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, I had lots of involvement. Right, so it's starting off wet, so I suppose that's my decision made for me, isn't it, really? Got to keep on the wets.
Yep. Totu Spurs asks, do we want to add more tyres in the game or stick with soft, hard, wet? At the moment, the simplicity provided by soft, hard, wet is more interesting for us than the added complexity of mediums and inters. I know why people like them. As a simulation fan, I really want inters, but at the moment we prefer to keep the gameplay simple.
Right. So this first stint in the wet is quite a long one, 3 minutes. Interesting.
Oh, yep. So you want to stay on your wet tyres for a bit longer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Adriano says the track seems to be slow, like in the second sector. Yep, that is directly related to the fact that the track is narrow there. The renovations that took place on Zandvoort didn't increase the width of the second sector very much. So it's a very narrow track, which means there's not a whole lot of room to race, and so the drivers get cautious. King Simeon 19 asks, when will we get the CC progress bar to track our current progress? I don't know. It will, again, like we did for 2020, there will be a period of several weeks, sort of a couple of months-ish, where you'll be able to spend your CC, where you'll be able to see your new CC points for the next season. So you can track your current progress then. That update's not coming out just yet. TR the Flash is saying it'll be a full wet race, by the way, Ian.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of the best strategy if I should pit them.
Okay. Sam Twilson is asking how many daily players there are currently. I think I know the answer, but I don't know if I can say. It's a lot of people. It's a very sort of... I feel sort of quite a warm feeling inside when I think about how many people are enjoying our game. So, yeah, sorry that I can't share more details. Mr. Oakley's asking, is an extension of the balance question. In my opinion, there are far too many epic parts and drivers that have no value. Shouldn't epic be the peak cards and their plans to evaluate what parts you place as epic in the new update? Yeah, so the intention, especially on the driver front, but I believe on the component front as well, is that epic parts will have some usefulness in the late game. So that's been a big thing that we got in the feedback survey, is that epic should mean a lot more than it does currently in terms of late game usability. So that's being optimized for. India Sport asks which country plays F1 Manager the most. We've got a lot of Brazilian fans who play F1 Manager. It's which makes a lot of sense because Brazil is very much an F1 country. Also, a lot of fans in Italy, which we were pleased to see had all arrived. So if you're Italian or Brazilian and playing F1 Manager and joining us for the stream, thank you. If you're enjoying it.
Yeah, and thanks to everyone who's liking and following and subscribing. I don't know if you've noticed, we've got this little pop-up that, pops up at the top of the screen every time someone does that. So yeah, thanks everyone for your support. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
I may have to turn that sound effect off
though. Stelios is asking, is Hamilton good in the game? Yes, Hamilton is good. In 2020, he's definitely got the run on all of the other drivers in the game. One of the comments that we've had is that Hamilton's overpowered in comparison to other drivers. So while I can assume that he's still going to be very usable next year, maybe he won't be the sort of dominant driver, the sole dominant driver.
He is very strong in the wet. Although, based on this race, not as good as Bottas.
Harry Sleeman is asking, please, in one of your future updates, can you let us race against our friends? We understand that F1 Manager is lacking social features at the moment. So one of the things that we're looking into is giving more ways for you to interact over the app and have a sort of social network on the app. But that can't really say anything much more than that. Question about the trades. Oh, sorry. Question about the trades. Will we be able to? Will we be able to unlock an epic? Yeah, you can do that. You can get epics from the trading system. But you only get the trading system if you have an asset maxed out. So if you've got, say, Nicholas Latifi upgraded to max level, and then you have some leftover assets, you can spend those in the asset trading system. So it won't show up until you have a maxed asset.
You know what? I don't want to jinx it, but I have a feeling I may take home the win.
Good luck.
This one, Josie.
Chris Golding asks, when parts are there for upgrades, how do you know if they are better than existing parts? I don't understand numbers. So yeah, it is a pretty complicated system. And when you have the upgrade tab, when you press it, you can see the little green bars that show you how much extra stats you're getting on top. But of course, when you do that, you can't then also cross-compare it to whatever you have equipped if you have something else equipped. So you need to exit out and look at the base stats of what you've got already compared to what you could put on the car. It is complicated, I understand. However, yeah, generally speaking, more stats are better. And the stats do make subtle differences to how the car will perform on different tracks. So play around and figure out what works best for you.
Looks like we brought home the win, Josie.
Did you?
Yeah, 5th.
Awesome. Well done. That's a lot of points.
I think that's equaled the amount of wins we got the whole live stream last time around, hasn't it? Okay. Quick look at the debrief.
David Bodnar is asking, why aren't there more safety cars? Yeah, so in 2019, we got a lot more safety cars than we do nowadays, which is absolutely true. So one of the things that we've looked at based on our feedback is that there aren't enough safety cars anymore, and maybe we'll add some more. We'll have to see.
Okay, so I think I might go straight into another race here, Josie. Okay. Off to Brazil. 20% chance of rain. So yeah, if you're on the stream in the chat at the minute, make sure to hang around towards the end because we may be doing a giveaway or two to win a legendary crate. So make sure you stick around towards the end of the stream.
Jelly Jardine asks, do drivers for specific series do better than others? So there's not a specific improvement on using a Series 4 driver in a Series 4 race. More stats are better in that case, but all of the different stats that the drivers do have will affect their performance, and some stats are better than others on some tracks. The notable obvious example is that a driver with better wet weather characteristics will do better when the track gets wet, and of course that is specific by track. So Series 3, you have a much higher chance of getting a wet weather race, and in that case, the wet weather driver will do better. Kevin Range asks, when is F1 2021 coming out? I don't know. Assuming that you're talking about our 2021 update, we will announce it when there's a few months left, a couple months to go. So keep an eye out for that announcement. Sukram says, moi pas parler anglais, moi pas comprendre. Je suis très désolé.
Say what?
Sorry, we speak English, so terribly sorry about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't managed to find a reliable translator bot for Twitch, if there is such a thing. Right, so I qualified pretty well in the second race again, Josie, beating my rival. But he's got one driver ahead of me somehow.
It'll be all right.
But then again, his second one is languishing in 22nd place, so I'm still looking good.
Stelios is asking, is 2021 going to be good? And they also say, I love F1 Manager. Thank you very much. We're going to try and make it good. Hopefully it will be the same game you love, but with a more interesting driver balance and all manner of cool and interesting things to do. Gaming with King asks, how are the club's clan features coming along? Whoops, that scrolled away. From 0 to 10, where would you put it as to say 10 in how soon we can get such a feature? So the timeline of that isn't confirmed. We are obviously working on it as hard as we can, but we want to make sure that it's all nice and good for you so that when you get it, it's a lot of fun to use. So I can't say when we're going to put that out, but you'll see it eventually.
Oh, man. Hamilton's broken down on me.
Oh, no. That's very
He's
unlike
not much
him.
Good, is he? I don't think he'll ever make it.
Yeah. This kid
might
come out to something eventually. Matthias van Putten asks, will new tracks be added for the 2021 update? We can't talk about tracks like Imola and Portimao at the moment because they might be temporary calendar fixtures. However, I believe that Jeddah is on a multiple-year deal. So while I can't confirm it, I assume that we will intend to build Jeddah. Junior Cyrus asks, can you add some daily challenges? We have thought about something like this. It's been talked about a lot. So we're going to continue to innovate on that idea. And maybe you'll see something eventually, but I don't know about soon. James Kilner asks, can you start with Mick Schumacher and George Russell as the first drivers, please? I don't know who will be the starter drivers for 2021.
I think that's doing George Russell an injustice, isn't it? Making him a starter driver.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that he can get close to a race win when he's in the right car, but in the meantime, of course, he is driving a Williams, who are unlikely to score a P1 in a race anytime soon, as much as I fantasize. But yeah, thank you for your suggestion at the very least. Master ID Gaming says, why is Albon trash for me when I use him? I don't know. I can't remember what stats Albon has. He should be pretty good. A lot of people say that he's one of the best usable drivers, so perhaps it's just a case of upgrading him to get the best out of him.
This is a close race, Josie. I think there's only about a point between us at the minute. I've got Bottas in 7th, hot on the heels of 6th, 5th and 4th. If I can get a position or two there, I think I've got it. Hamilton's
oh my God,
just
so many
overtaken my
questions.
rifle as well. Nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it.
King Simeon 19 asks, what's been done to fix the disconnection issues when it comes up to in our GP event? We have been looking very closely at the reports of connection problems. We are thinking about a way to help mitigate that issue so that it doesn't affect your standings. We'll have more news on that later. Stock de Block says, I think the game needs a new mode where you can drive 15 rounds or 20 rounds. Yeah, we've looked at that actually. I've done some tests personally where you insert a huge number of laps into the game. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, other parts of the game don't scale properly when you do that. So it would need significant work. We couldn't just bash it together. A lot of people have talked about having a full length or like an endurance style mode. Totu Spurs asks, aero seems very weak compared with grip. Have you noticed that from your point of view? Not especially. We have got the statistics on which stats matter the most when it comes to a player's chance of victory. And aero, grip, and power, the sort of three like big performance meters for the car, seem to be pretty evenly proportioned. It does change track by track, though.
Well, I've just asked the chat if they think I should swap Bottas for Vettel for a race. See how that goes.
Sure, give it a try.
Close stats-wise. Yeah.
Gaz Watson asks, how do we get the update? The update with asset trading is already out, so depending on which platform you're in, it might update automatically, or you can go back to the store page and get a download. Sebamania3 asks, do you consider making an offline season mode? At the moment, we're committed to making sure that F1 Manager is always an online game. It serves what we're trying to do better. However, yeah, I understand that it's a bit frustrating sometimes to not be able to play offline.
I've made a big decision, Josie. I've benched Hamilton.
Who are you going to take instead?
I'm running with Bottas and Vettel. Because Bottas, as was pointed out to me in the chat, has outperformed Hamilton in the 2 races last time, I think.
As we know, regression to the mean doesn't exist.
I may live to rue this decision, but we'll see.
Jeff W. asks, any desire or plans to change how GPs are done, such as a requirement to do 5 races in qualifying, redistributing epic rewards in prizes? We are still innovating GP events. When we originally released them, I think it was 6 races of qualifying and 12 races of the main event, if anybody remembers that. And yeah, we are still coming up with new and interesting ways to make use of GP events. So you'll see more on that later. Ballerino is asking about a practice mode. I don't know if we have a practice mode planned. However, it has been suggested a lot. Animal asking about a Brazil. Sorry, that's the second comment down. Will we have esports of F1 Manager? So far, we've got nothing in the pipeline. However, it is a kind of cool concept to think about. It'd be kind of nice. TR the Flash is suggesting Tsunoda, Schumacher, or Mazepin as the rookies, as the starter drivers because they're rookies. Again, not a bad shout.
Kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Previously, like in 2019 and 2020, we always went for less experienced drivers or drivers that were new that year as the rookies. I don't know if we didn't do that exactly for this year, but we had, again, 1 rookie and then 1 other newer driver. Toty Spurs, responding to something I said earlier, you say each track requires a specific tune, but we don't see a lot of difference, actually. Do you plan on increasing it? It would be a fun thought experiment to try and change those things. We've seen that the effect is relatively substantial, but of course, if you don't see it, then that means it's a game design issue. So we could look at ways of either telegraphing that better or increasing the difference. Thank you for the suggestion.
I'm not feeling it this race, Josie. My rival's already out in 4th, and my highest placed driver's in 11th. I think this driver swap could backfire on me.
Adriano is asking, when the new season starts, will we be able to continue trading our spare parts? I don't know. I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that question. I'll have to find out who does. Balham Batters asks, gold crates and green crates are useless and annoying once you've updated commons and rares. What are your thoughts? That is one of the big reasons why the asset trading system has been brought in, so that all of those extra commons and rares that you get can be put to good use. So hopefully that will help you out. James Kilner doesn't want Mazepin as a starter, but would be fine with Tsunoda. Okay, thank you for the suggestion. That's cool. Nate Dog wants to know what rarity Fernando Alonso will be. I don't know. We'll find out soon, I guess. Last year we did like a card reveal before the update where we went over all of the drivers individually. So I hope we can do the same thing again. That'd be kind of nice.
Yes, I think so. I think last year we revealed them via social media, so that seemed to go down well. So no reason not to do something similar this time around.
GP89 is saying they'd like to see the game becoming a bit more hard on the prizes. After one point in the game, every upgrade becomes quite cheap, and it feels like cash is not that precious. Yeah, we're aware of some of the sort of currency inflation issues that have happened. So we're trying to make sure that there's a little bit of a better tuning on that, so that it still feels precious later on in the game.
Right, it started to rain now in this race, Josie. I've just brought Bottas in on the wets. It's only about 22% rain, but wasn't sure if I could leave it another lap. I don't think he had the tyres for it anyway. And I've got Vettel just about to come in to get on the wets too. Clawed it back a little bit. These final 2 laps are going to be pretty tight, I think.
So many questions. Okay. Frederico Nunes Coelho says Portimao, please. Yep, I love Portimao. I was super glad when it ended up on the 2020 calendar. It's one of my favorite racetracks. Don Montague asks, will the driver lineup change? If you're talking about 2021, then yes, because we've had drivers move teams. So all of the new drivers and the moved drivers will take their slot when the 2021 update comes out. Mattia Bonotto is thanking us for our hard work. Thank you very much. Marek Adamchak, I probably said that wrong, is saying, this changing of season will be going on in the same way as last time. I'm talking about the coins, boosts, and bucks. It will be very much the same as last year. That we do know. So you will have CC points awarded based on your 2020 performance, and you'll be able to spend them in 2020 on assets. I believe like boosts and bucks, you will keep them just like you did last year. And I think the plan is that the coins will be converted in some way into CC points as well, so that you can spend them. Mike Pilkington says everyone plays Raikkonen and Grosjean. Do they? Yeah, they must play Raikkonen because everybody loves Raikkonen. Yep, we know that not all the drivers are super useful. So we are trying to change that for 2021.
Oh, Josie, I have a feeling my 2 race winning streak is going to come to an end.
Oh no, but how many points will you get?
I don't know. It's hard to predict because Bottas has just run out of fuel. TR the Flash said on the chat to run him on reds a few laps ago. So I took his advice, and now he's out of fuel.
Jelly Giantine is asking, do teammates do better together? No, there's not some sort of like hidden improvement for the drivers when they are matched with their teammate. All of the drivers are happy to pair up with whoever. Sukram is asking, will it be possible to duel with our friends next season? We understand again that there is a lot of calls for 1v1 duels with friends and other social features. We're working on clubs, which will provide you some more interactivity with your fellow players. But I can't say anything about 1v1 duels specifically. Mike Pilkington says, my app is updated. I can't seem to trade assets. Why? Do make sure not only that you have one of your assets completely maxed out and upgraded to the full, and also, I imagine that if you've done that, then you should also have over 1 million coins, but both of those criteria will need to be fulfilled before you can trade assets.
Right, I got 28 points in that last race. Somehow I'm top of the leaderboard in qualifying, though I don't expect that to remain the case if I stick on 3 races, so I think I should do another one.
David Bodnar is asking, can you consider races where all the teams are real players? Without going into that too much, I believe that was the original pitch. And I think there was a prototype where you could have lots of people logged in, but it proved to be very inefficient and difficult to actually like manage for a server. So we've scaled it back to the current 1v1 game. I want that feature to come back. It would be so cool. Maybe one day, but there are no plans. Tiago Gedefefe says, races with more laps, please. Yep, people have been talking about that. We'd like to do it. It requires a lot of reprofiling of the simulation, so it will be hard to do, but maybe one day.
Quick question, Josie, for you.
Yeah.
Do you have your notepad ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
Should we do a little giveaway this next race?
Yeah, let's do a giveaway. Okay.
So don't put your guesses in right now. Probably best to wait until after qualifying, but Yeah, when the race starts, post in the chat the 2 positions that you think my 2 drivers will finish the race in, and if anyone guesses correctly, we'll be in touch with them to get them a nice sweet prize.
Oh, this is always the hard part. Okay. Yeah. Kevin Range says, get rid of the spinner, it's useless. Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much for your feedback. We've had some positive messaging come back about the spinner, and we do like to give you a little something for free. So hope you don't mind, but the spinner is probably here to stay.
Yeah, I mean, I did only get 6,000 coins early, but I have received on occasion a couple of platinum crates and gold crates, so you can get some nice goodies from it if your luck is in. Okay, off to Canada.
I should probably start taking a note of how many people are guessing the qualifying. There's so many questions. Oh my gosh.
Oh dear, Vettel. That is poor qualifying. Right, there's any rain, which is good.
Okay, bring in your predictions, and I'll try and keep track of as many of them as I can. But oh my goodness!
Yeah. Remember, you have to guess for both drivers. Ballum, Beaters, I think you just guessed for one of them. So yeah, if you want to take part, make sure to predict both finishing positions. You don't have to name the drivers; just a number's fine.
Yeah. James Kilner has suggestions for what the 2021 epics will be, suggesting Verstappen, Hamilton, Alonso, Vettel, Bottas, and Leclerc. Those are all very successful drivers, and generally somebody's prior form and recent success does lend towards whether or not they're going to have a higher rarity. That's not a hard and fast rule, but those are some pretty good suggestions. It wouldn't surprise me if those drivers became epic. More suggestions about adding Imola and Mugello and Portimao. Yep. Again, if those tracks turn out to be long-term fixtures on the F1 calendar, then there's a high chance that we will build them. For now, it looks like they might just be 1-year things, which means that we may not have time to build them before they're off the calendar again. Somebody called Anselmo Sturani is spamming new tracks in 2021. They've said it about 18 times. Okay, we've got a lot of people have guessed on Twitch, and a couple of people have guessed on YouTube. Cool. God, there's so much chat. I'm trying my best to answer as many questions as I can. I'm sorry. There was so much chat.
They're coming fast, aren't they, today?
They're coming so fast. I can't keep up. Jezza H says, can we get the computer controlled cars to behave a bit more realistically? Some almost stop at the start of some races. Yeah, that's to do with the pathing of those AI cars. Because at the start of the race, all of the cars are really crowded. They are super cautious about not hitting each other. So that just sort of, it looks sort of overdone in the game. Of course, drivers are doing that in real life as well. It just doesn't look quite as obvious. So yeah, that's just because they've got limited space.
I'm not sure if putting Vettel into the mix was the right thing to do. He's languishing.
Oh no!
In the 20s.
David Bodnar says, bring back Hockenheim. Of course, we have Hockenheim, but it's not on the F1 calendar, which means that for legal reasons, we're not able to make use of it in series or events. So sorry about that. Okay. Bexa Can Cube, I'm sorry, I definitely said that wrong, is asking what happened to safety car? Haven't had one in 6 months. Yeah, the chance of a safety car is quite low at the moment, and we are looking at changing that in the future.
They do still happen, though.
They do, yeah.
But just maybe a little bit too rare for our liking at the minute.
Chris Pretty wants to know if Alonso will be added. For the 2021 update, Alonso, along with all of the other new drivers, will make their way into the game. So you'll see them soon.
So someone said in the chat, when we put out update notes, one of our listings is minor game improvements. What do those typically include, Josie?
I don't know.
It can be pretty much anything, can't it? Just minor UI fixes.
Yeah, little button tweaks to make them easier to use. Obscure bug fixes,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, things like that.
Stuff that's not really worth calling out and mentioning, because it would turn the patch list notes into a proper, like reams of pages long.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to hear about them. Balham Batters asks, can you explain the boost numbering and the effect each number give to performance? So, to my knowledge, the numbers, I mean, obviously a higher number of an effect is better. They're calculated on a percentage basis, so it will scale based on your stats that you already have. Oh, where did you finish?
I finished, I remembered this time. 10th and 23rd. Oh.
10th and 23rd. Yep. Oh, okay. Nobody on Twitch got it. Neuer Thalvek tried to trick me by putting it in the last minute, but that's no good.
After the bell, that one, I think.
10th and 23rd. Yeah. Nobody on YouTube got it.
Okay.
No
one then?
No. The closest person I found so far was 14th and 22nd from Jelly Jardine.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like nobody guessed it.
Okay, well, let's roll it over and let's do another one.
Yeah, let's do one more.
I've got one more race, I think, in qualifying.
Alvaro Alonso Ortiz says, hola.
Hola. Right. No, I don't want to watch a video.
Maximilian Orlovsky asks, can you make groups where you can donate, like in Clash Royale? We have a clubs feature in the works. So that will be along, I can't tell you what the timeline for that is, but we are making one, a sort of clubs feature in the near future. Master ID Gaming is saying that they guessed 11th and 22nd. Where was that? Let me scroll back. Well, you guessed like 7 or different. You said 5th and 8th, and you said 18th and 11th.
Yeah.
So I think I can't find that guess, I'm afraid.
And obviously, putting your guess in, halfway through the final lap isn't is a bit cheeky.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got Latifi out of this crate.
Nice.
Just when I thought I got rid of some of my surplus.
Where you can transfer, you can exchange them for something else.
Oh, I could upgrade Albon. Only to 3 though. I don't think that's going to make much of a difference this time.
Mr. Oakley is asking, are there plans to allow us to create multiple builds? For example, I have a different setup for duels and GP, so be able to just tap and adjust my setups and equip all my parts would be an amazing improvement. Yeah, actually, that's been talked about. I don't know how far down the line that is, but having multiple loadouts pre-saved, for instance, is something that we've talked about as a group. TAC136 asks, would you consider having events where all participants are given the same drivers and car parts? This would focus the challenge on manager skill and knowledge with uncommon builds and provide a different way of having even competition. That sounds pretty cool. That would be a really nice innovation. I'm going to take note of that because I don't think we have anything like that set up, but that is a really cool idea. Fixed build challenges. what are the percentage of getting platinum/legendary crates from winning a duel? I can't remember. It's obviously not a huge percentage because we usually give away the other kinds of crates. So it's relatively rare, but of course that just makes it all the more special when it happens.
Right, here comes qualifying on the 5th and final race.
Oh yeah, okay, so put your guesses in.
Put your guesses in.
We'll have another perspective giveaway if you can get the correct guess for the finishing positions of both cars.
I think we'll cut off the replies after, say, you know, the second lap or something like that, because you know, if you're putting your guess in right towards the end of the race, you're probably going to have a better chance of winning, which doesn't seem that fair. So yeah, try and get your guesses in within the first 2 laps or so, guys and girls.
Bobby Pollington 14 asks, what's the update for and when is it? The update's already out. It's the asset trading feature mostly. So if you have a maxed out asset with excess left over, you can now trade that in. James Kilner is asking about driver transfers, which would sort of make sense if it were like a closed system, but because F1 Manager is all about like the global stuff and all of that, we make sure that all of the signed drivers for the real teams are in those cars, and you can have a sort of clone of anybody in your car.
Oh man, Bottas has lost like 2 or 3 positions on this first lap already. Not
okay, the guesses are coming in. James Kilner is asking, can we make more liveries? We'd like to. They're pretty cool. India Sport is asking, one problem with the game is that in Champion Division, we're put into groups with Hamilton level 6 and 7 players who only get 470, and a player using Albon and Kimi cannot get 470 because Albon's qualifying is poor. Yep, for 2021, we're going to make some changes to the driver balance so that more drivers are usable. Gaming with King is asking, when will we see a global leaderboard? The space has been there for a while now. Yeah, it's been one of the rolling jokes in the office that global leaderboard still isn't out yet. We're sorry about that. It's been one of those things that's been on the cards for a long time, and as more and more sort of important and immediate things like serious quality of life improvements come in, it gets pushed back, and unfortunately it's been the victim of being pushed back far too many times.
Right, I've had to bring in Bottas after 2 laps because his tyres were nearly done. I think this heat isn't helping at Shanghai. Must be really hot.
Alvaro Alonso Ortiz is asking, can we put in legendary drivers like Michael Schumacher? Everybody wants to know if we can have a legendary driver mode. At the moment, it is a huge minefield to sort something like that out because it requires making individual agreements with the estates of all of the drivers.
Because those drivers aren't covered by our agreement with FOM, are they?
That's right. Yeah, we're not licensed to use drivers that are not from the immediate seasons. So for now, that is just a dream, but we can't have that. I think that my webcam's frozen.
You're moving on my screen.
Oh yeah, I am. Sorry. Oh my god, there's so many questions and so many predictions.
Right, I think we should cut off the predictions now because I'm about halfway through this race.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine. I'll try and keep an eye on it. Jezza H. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, I think if no one guesses correctly, we should just go with who gets closest.
Okay. Jezza H asks, can race crates be better value than free crates? Are they not already? I thought that the race crates were, especially in the early days, the race crates are like a big deal. But I can't remember what happens to them at the top series. Maybe they become less and less valuable.
I thought so. The other guy, well, I don't know, he's just gone into the pits, but then again, I have to pit Hamilton again. I think he's going to take the lead again. But then again, I don't know if you noticed, Josie, I was top of the leaderboard somehow.
Were you?
Yeah.
Nice. Jansen is asking, will there be a double reward GP to end the season? I'm not sure about that yet. The double reward GPs at the end of 2019 season were really popular. So we'd like to do something like that again. Watch this space.
Right. Hamilton's in for a pit stop. Let's hope it's a quick one. My pit stop times are pretty rubbish, though. I'm always getting about 3.9 seconds, which isn't too good.
Sander Kenders is asking what to do with 1 billion. Is that a billion? 1 billion coins. Will it help the 2021 season? So your coins for 2020 are going to be converted some way into CC points. So you won't keep them for 2021 as far as I know, but you will get something out of them. More CC points are going to be better. GP89 is saying, would it be awesome if you could see the changes on a car when you put on a different rear wing, for example? That would be pretty cool. Of course, the little asset icons don't look particularly like the real world F1 parts. So it would be a bit of a modeling exercise for us to have that all change for all the cars. In the meantime, I think that having just the one model is probably the better way for us to go. There are other things we'd like to do first, but thank you for your suggestion.
I think I saw one suggestion on Discord, someone saying it'd be cool if we could animate the rear wings for DRS and that kind of thing, but they're so small, I don't think you'd be able to see, would you?
Yeah, but quite small, yeah.
Yeah.
TR The Flash says, do you have plans for a driver of the week where they get a stat increase to mix things up? That's a really cool suggestion. It's one that we've heard before. Where did you finish?
8th and 14th.
Okay, let me take a look. 8th.
I got defeated by
14th.
2 points, unfortunately.
Somebody said 8th and 12th. That's the closest I've seen so far before the cutoff point.
Okay.
8th and 14th. 8th and 14th. I'm looking. We had a 7th and 13th from James Kilmer.
That's closer, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. Still looking. 5th and 8th. 5th and 10th. 5th and 13th, not closer.
Nope.
9th and 13th from John Bristow.
That's just as close as the previous one, isn't it?
Yes. So
and we had one prize to roll over from last time as we didn't have a winner, so
John Bristow with a 9th and 13th got the good guess. And what was the other one? Was it 7th and 13th?
I think so.
From James Kilmer. So John Bristow and James Kilmer, we've got your names down.
Yep.
How do they get in touch with us,
I was
Ian?
going to say, if you two guys can just hang around once we close the stream down, we'll send you a whisper or something like that so we can get some further details.
Yeah. Roland 60 is saying that they guessed it, 10th and 14th.
But it's 8th and 14th.
Yeah, not quite as close.
Unfortunately not.
But good work. That was a pretty close guess.
Yep. Right. Are there any outstanding questions, Josie? Because I think our hour is nearly up. It's kind of flown by that.
Yeah, it very much is.
Pretty good timing, really.
Adriana's asking if we plan to have a series with all the tracks. Yeah, we've seen the feedback that some of the like a lot of the top level drivers are bored because they only get to see a few tracks in the series 12. So we're thinking of making a change to that, but I can't say anything more on that just yet.
Right. I don't expect to finish qualifying in this position, Josie, but at the minute I'm sitting top of the heap, despite I think losing 2 or 3 out of the 5 races.
Oh, very good, very good.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in 13 hours' time.
Okay, cool, awesome.
I think it's worthwhile saying, Josie, that we did do one previous live stream from November, and this is our second live stream. But moving forwards, we're hoping to do these on a more regular basis, maybe once every 2 weeks. So please keep an eye out on our Discord, our social media pages for details about upcoming live streams. Because yeah, we find it a lot of fun, and we hope you guys enjoy hanging out with us and chat and asking us some questions and just having a bit of fun with us, really.
Yeah, so thank you very much, everybody. I'm sorry that I didn't get to every question. There have been so many. Thank you so much for all the amazing questions and just for coming along to support the stream.
Yep. Thank you very much, guys. I'm going to switch it up now. But yeah, hope to see you again soon. And the 2 prize winners, make sure to just hang around in the chat. I'll be in touch with you shortly. Thank you.
Yep.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Have a good weekend.